I wanted to just touch really quickly because you had mentioned him at the top of the hour. You mentioned Brian Clancy. I'm not necessarily talking about the injury, but it's just so refreshing because when I first saw Ryan Clancy, I was like, wow, what a talent! First of all, I just saw him at a few JCW shows. I was immediately sold on him. His wrestling ability, like he's going to get every purist fan that loves grappling and wrestling, like pure technical ability. I feel they're going to love him for that. But then, he's also like squeaky clean, perfect, like goody baby face kind of energy in that he's great for families. Like, and you booking him, obviously, I feel like was a no brainer, but as a talent, I think that guy has got all the potential in the world. I wanted to know what was your thought when you originally booked Ryan Clancy, even though things didn't pan out.
Yeah, so we really want. Okay, so the real thing for going into Mania, this is our second Mania show. The first was in a little different situation, but it was good to run it and learn from it. Listen, Mania shows are really complicated because you're competing with 70 shows. You're competing with WrestleMania. This year, there's less people there than last year. It's not cheap. Yeah. And, if I'm being honest, unless fans totally come out and hopefully this podcast blows up our ticket sales, we may be short, but I really wanted to give some of our top talent, if they were going to be there, a platform to be bigger. Sean, no one bigger than Sean. The other one's Blair Onyx. She's also out, but so Sean Logan means a lot to Second Wrestling. Yeah. He's the standard of how you get in the door and how you work with Rabbi Fine and how you ascend to there's that word again, ascend to all of our shows, by the way, that have those kinds of names are biblical references, by the way. So so that's the Comedy Bear show. Well, they're in order of all of the there's lots of like little Jewish things that people know that just only those insiders. It's like insider baseball. Anyways, so
what you're saying is after Mania, you got to come back on the show so we can do this all over again. So we can
exactly. So my T-shirt, for example, I made like a mock Stone Cold that says "Fine 613" instead of 316. 613 are the amount of commandments in the Bible. But you only know that if you know that. So like, there's little things like that.
Oh my God! You got me thinking now. You got to get a wrestler that instead of the 5 moves of doom, they got to do the Torah, the 5 books of Moses.
There's none of that. It's only really my stuff. Like to do. So we wanted a top independent name for Sean, who wasn't driving distance. Because if he's driving distance, we could probably have him at a Second Wrestling show in Chicago. And if I'm being honest, Ryan was the best one that wrote in. Yeah. And we connected and we worked out a deal and made sense for all parties. He was only good to work with. We only had a good experience. I really feel horrible for him. Yeah. I think he's young enough and unique enough that he'll come back better. Yeah. Sometimes when it happens to some of the wrestlers, when they're a little older, it's a little tougher because, at some point, father time comes for all of us. Like I did one match. I trained for it. People always say to me, "Are you gonna do another?" I'm like, you know what? But it would, I would have to drop 45 pounds. Like I can't, because if I did it again, I got to do more than I did the last one. And so I've trained a little bit, nothing too extensive, but so it's very disappointing for him. Obviously, he was on a great run this whole year, 2025. He was easily one of the top independent wrestlers in the world, if not one of the top wrestlers in the world. I think he could fit into both companies. I think he could be a star off the bat at TNA right away. I think he's that good. And if not, he certainly seemed to be stock rising. it doesn't hurt that his best friend in this whole business is Marcus Mathers, whose also stock is rising. We had Marcus out. We had Marcus out. We're having him back in a little bit, but we had him out here this past. Him and David Ali tore up. It was the first main event at Cubby Bear, and Marcus is a special dude, and there is something about him immediately when he steps into that ring. And I believe of all the IDs, except for maybe Laney and Mimi, but of the first batch, I think Marcus has the brightest future.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I just wanted to bring up Clancy because to your point, like that kid, he's going to come back from this. And I think if I basically am doing this almost as a PSA for any promoter, since you are one yourself, if you want somebody when he comes back from injury, get him on your shows because Ryan Clancy has got a bright future in his own right. I think he's got the total package, and I think you'd be lucky to have him.
Yeah, we've seen his stuff. I by accident, I bought IWTV to watch the life of. They do these like mini documentaries.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is good, but
the recent one is Alex Shelley.
Okay, so I did it to watch Shaza, Billy, like all of our people. I was like Cole, Radrick. So I was like, it'd be fun to watch, their stuff and support them, right? And I by accident clicked annual pass instead of monthly pass. So I had IWTV for the whole year. And so I started watching some Beyond, and that's how I found Ryan Clancy.
Awesome.
He's great. He's fantastic, man.
See, a blessing in disguise, and you did that by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
It's almost like God knew I wanted to do it. It's almost like I had a direct line.
There you go.
Well,